data a lot in our previous presentations, and we've looked at data. We've looked at data types, categorical and numerical. We've talked about what are the examples of non-numerical and numerical data, and we've looked at what is structured data and what is it called. And we've also looked at what is primary data, what is secondary data, population sample statistics. Now, for doing some work, some research work, or for learning machine learning, how do I get data, large sets of data that are almost replicated of real-time data? Because if I'm learning machine learning, how do I get data? So there are some sources of data available on the websites. So we'll take a look at those sources, because you are able to learn about machine learning and data analytics only from if you have good data sets. So during the recent years, a lot of sources have come up. A lot of companies and people and governments have put up their data. So let's look at a few of these examples. So there is a site called Kaggle, which has recently been bought by Google. I think so, Google. Let me just, yeah, we'll look at who bought Kaggle. I think Google bought Kaggle very, very recently, maybe a month back. So this is a site, just like, you have Facebook. What do you do on Facebook? You go and put your profile, your pictures, okay, and your family and friends can see it. So you showcase yourself. In the same way, Kaggle is a site on which you showcase your work. You can go there. There is a platform, and you can work on Kaggle. And Kaggle also has a lot of competitions. And if you win a Kaggle competition, it's considered very, very valuable, and maybe Google just picks you up from there. So a lot of competitions are happening. They provide you the data, they provide you the questions, and you can be part of the competition and submit your entries, and those entries are evaluated, and people from all over the world participates, and thousands of entries come, right? And a lot of good work happens there. So this is one data source. We'll just go on the website and see in a minute. Again, a UCI library. This is a American university, and this is they have on their website depository of data sets, and it is one of the great source of machine learning data sets. They have, see, if you see, they've classified. Let's go to the website and see. So this is the Kaggle website, like I just mentioned. So there are data sets here. So there's heart analysis and prediction data set, Clubhouse data set, World Happiness Report data set, Netflix movies and TV shows data set, and these are the trending data set tasked currently. Then popular data sets, Rabbit vaccine myths, telecom user data set, Melbourne housing snapshot, mobile price classification, businesses, US wildfires, basketball data set. So if you see, there's so many data sets available on COVID, also on economics, gold prices, supermarket sales, World Happiness Report, student performance in exams, HR analytics, job change of data scientists, right? So it was uploaded 4 months back. So you can go there. Health, Prima Indians Diabetics database, very, very popular database for analysis. Stroke prediction database, image classification, right? Then natural language processing, Wikibooks data set. You see how many data sets we have, right? So these are all data sets. You can go and register. In fact, you should make a login here. Then we have UCI machine learning repository. So you have all these data sets. So if we go to, I think here, view all data sets, these are the all data sets. And they also tell you what type of data sets it is and what is the default task you can do. So this data set can be used for classification. It has, see, it says instances. What are instances? We just saw what is an instance here. We just saw what is an instance. So instance, yeah, instance means rows, right? We just saw that instance means rows. So here means that this means that there are 4,177 rows of data sets. Attributes means columns. So features. So there are 8 features in this data set, and it's about 1995. It has categorical, integer, real numbers, all these numbers and these attributes. It can be used for classification, modeling, and it is multivariate. right? Multivariate means more than one X variable. That means there are a whole number of dimensions. Because it has 8 dimensions, so it is multivariate, right? So there is classification, regression, clustering, all these data sets available, right? Then data types, time series, life sciences, by area they've classified, by attributes they've classified, by formats they've classified, by instances or number of rows they've classified. So they have done a very decent job, and very, very popular sites, both Kaggle and UCI, for figuring out data. Then you have AWS. Let's look at AWS. So we have, right. So we have AWS here. Which is Amazon Web Services site. Here also, registry for open data on AWS, and you have a whole lot of data sets available here. Anyone can analyze and build various services using shared data via AWS. So if you log into AWS, you can make your account there. If you're using it, then maybe you have to pay for it, for using their servers. And you can use their, I think for first 6 months, and for a minimum amount of server space, it's free, and then you are charged after that. And so they have, see, data sets from Facebook data, big data projects, space telecom, science institute projects. I also wanted to tell you that, when you go to Kaggle, it's not just data set, but their analysis are also visible. So you can download the analysis on Python, and look at, what is the kind of analysis, what is the kind of work that is being done on those data sets. So this is again AWS data set. Then you have Google's data set. Google can, you can search for these data sets at Google. We'll just go to Google and see. Then there is Microsoft data set. So Microsoft Research Open Data Set, a collection of free data sets from Microsoft Research to advance state-of-the-art research in areas such as natural language processing, computer vision, and domain-specific sciences. Then you have some public sources data set at GitHub. GitHub is also a site that is like Kaggle, and which you can showcase your work, which you can download the work of others, you can see what's happening, and it also has competitions happening. Then you have government data sets. Indian government has data sets we saw last time, I think at the beginning of our course, that we say Indian government data site, not data entry site, but data, yeah. So data.gov.in is the site, and you have loads of data here. So there are 4,89,721 resources, and again, they are categorized. You can go and download about economy, about transportation, about education. So it's also talking about, what is the dropout rate, what is gross enrollment ratio in schools, what is the percent of schools with computers, demographic data, decadal growth rate, sex ratio, child sex ratio. So there is a whole lot of, and also you have app galleries. All these are data, sources, policy guidelines. So, project management unit, open government data platform in India. So Indian government is doing a lot of work in digitalization and in creating data set. Then you have chief data officers, data sets through web services, then digital payment transactions in India from 2016-17 to 2019-20, very good data source to understand how maybe COVID or the last 2-3 years after monetization, demonetization, it has been affected. And also a visual gallery where you can go and see, how data has been done. Okay, so then there is, in the same way, you have different governments. You have US government data sets, very, very popular. For example, you have government has schemes like Medicare and Medicaid. They support their old or support their poor families with health insurance. So every year they provide health insurance for the next year to poor, which is called Medicaid, and to old people beyond the age of 16 is called Medicare. So both these schemes, because I've worked in health insurance, so I know. I also looked at US health market. So what the government does is, whatever data they collect, they keep, say, around 25 to 30% of the data on their site, and people can download. So actuaries, in which I was a part of the team, we would download data from there and then make modeling and use it for predicting the premium prices for the next years for all the government schemes. Right. Then again, other countries like Ireland, yeah, like European Union. European Union is also doing a lot of work in data analysis and data privacy laws. It's one of the pioneers in setting up laws for data analysis. Then computer vision data. Again, computer vision data is unique because in the sense these are pictures, these are visual data set. Then you have Python has got various libraries. So they have a library called sklearn, and sklearn, most of the libraries, whether it is R libraries or Python libraries, they have their own data sets. That's part of the library. So if you download the library, you're downloading the data set also, and that can be used for studying, for understanding things. So that is again part of the data set. So let me just show you the websites that I had done. Yeah, so this is Google's data search. You can find about Google. What is data search, our mission, and the keyword blog post, data set developer page, right? And then you have this Microsoft database, social, physics, information technology, view all categories, computer science database, feature data sets, indoor location data set. So many data sets available for you to study. And GitHub, like I mentioned, GitHub is awesome public data sets. Again, you have data sets under different categories, under different sizes. Uh, Open data sets, awesome public data sets, right? Then you have visual data, which is available. It's a little different because it has images with it. I also wanted to show you one more data set. I think I've not opened it. Right, this is ImageNet data set. So one of the scientists at Stanford University, I think around 5 to 7 years back, realized that for image classification, for images, work on images to be done, we need data sets. And we didn't have the data set. So she made this ImageNet library, right? So these are all about data sources. Right. So we stop here today.